wow, Bitcoin is going not to the moon, but into the ground, and it's just a terrible thing to own. But when you actually think about it, you should never buy Bitcoin when it's crashing, and the first signs that the trend is no longer a long-term uptrend, need to get rid of Bitcoin when that's the case, and that was earlier in the year. The problem with people is that they actually continue to repeat something that's false. They tell you you cannot time the market, whether it's stock market or a crypto market. Now, I'm not saying you should be a day trader. I don't want to day trade crypto. What you have to do is be able to identify what kind of time period you're in, and that basically gives you an advantage over others. For instance, you wouldn't want to invest in crypto in a time period where the Federal Reserve is aggressively hiking rates at a level that's never before seen in history, and everything else is tanking. So what do you think the chances are that crypto will be something that continues to rise? Very, very little. It's just not going to. I mean, yeah, there might be times where it's still going up. I mean, there are uptrends in bear markets. That's a fact. But the truth of the matter is, people are losing a lot of money in crypto because once the trend is down, you start being susceptible to all kinds of weird shenanigans happening. People having loans tied to crypto, and then when it crashes, it just causes a massive avalanche down, and there really hasn't been any super trend up to get back to previous levels whenever there's a crash. So whether it's Voyager, Voyager was one crypto exchange, and then there was FTX now, and it's a ridiculous system we're in. I still am a believer long term in crypto, but it doesn't mean I have to be invested in it all the time. I think the problem with so many people on YouTube is that they know that you're going to get bored watching these videos if I tell you to stay in cash and don't get invested in Bitcoin or stocks or anything like that. But I'm not afraid of that. I'm telling you to stay away from Bitcoin while the trend is bad. There's really no advantage to that. And you're going to actually find that there are other exchanges possibly, or other problems that we don't yet know about. And we're going to discover that there's going to be just bad things happening, because a lot of this is so opaque that we can't really see it until it happens. Like, nobody really thought, hey, is there a problem with FTX? I was maybe a little suspicious. I was like, who's this guy worth billions? I never heard of this guy. So the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of leverage in these in crypto, and people have thought it's the path to riches. And the problem is that too many people don't realize that there's really no point to be involved in this unless you have to. I mean, there's some people who maybe they want to take money out of a country, and Bitcoin is one way to do it. But if you're trying to actually make money, Bitcoin at the moment in 2022, that's not the way to do it. And if you think about it, right now nobody can actually say that Bitcoin has accomplished anything that people said it would accomplish. It's not a hedge against inflation. It's probably the worst instrument ever devised in mankind for dealing with a high inflation environment. It's down like 80% in a year where inflation is 7 or 8%. So it kind of shows that, yeah, inflation is bad, but Bitcoin has done worse than that. So it doesn't matter what people on Twitter say. The people who kind of act like a cult. I don't really like the cult-like atmosphere around a lot of people on Bitcoin. I find that kind of annoying. I like to be objective when it comes down to investments. I don't like to say Bitcoin's the future and you're going to be poor if you don't buy it. Well, that's not real. That sounds like more like a cult than a real logical analysis. Anyway, I do hope that you will share your thoughts in the comments below about what you think of Bitcoin. But if you are smart, stay out of this, because it's not going to be pretty for a long time. See you in the next video, and subscribe and hit the like button.